Originally meant to show the fake side of social media, the Instagram versus reality trend has exposed something else entirely.
The trend starts with a picture-perfect destination lacking any other people. Then all of a sudden the camera pans to show throngs of other tourists.
It can actually be quite comical, but
Travel has almost become a giant illusion, with marketing deciding where you'll go and what your experience would be like.
before we look at how this trend exposed mass market tourism, first need a little bit of backstory to understand how the travel industry developed.
Starting in the last couple hundred years, leisure travel started with the rich traveling by rail and luxurious ocean liners like the Titanic. Travel then evolved into the air, but was still only accessible by the upper class.
By the 1970s, air travel became reasonably affordable for the middle class with the creation of wide-body aircraft like the 747.
This has created countless jobs, businesses, it's helped with globalization, shown us other cultures and foods and ways of life.
So it seems like the travel industry has created a net positive for the world, which by most metrics it has.
But the travel industry has developed into a well-oiled machine that markets the most profitable and popular destinations to you, which has sucked the life out of many beautiful towns, cities, and historical sites.
And this is what the Instagram versus reality trend has exposed.
There's a simple cycle at play here. It starts with a person going to a cool destination, taking a good picture, then they go home and show friends and family. And some of those people want to go, and they repeat the cycle. This then sends an exponential amount of people to that location. This then starts a second, more important cycle. The place becomes more popular, which then means that more infrastructure needs to be built to accommodate all the tourists. Things such as hotels, restaurants, souvenir shops, and most importantly, more flights and tours to that destination. Then, because there's more seats, airlines, travel agents, and travel websites need to sell those seats. So what they end up doing is they end up marketing it more. This marketing leads back into the first cycle.
This isn't some giant conspiracy that the travel industry's concocted. People have long wanted to explore the world. Popular destinations are popular for a reason. It's because they're cool.
I could have given you all kinds of statistics about how much the travel industry spends on marketing every year, but I don't think it changes much. This is merely an example of a business finding a need and filling it. And now, companies just want you to spend those dollars with them.
But where does Instagram fit into all this?
Instagram cuts out step 2 of the first cycle and allows one person to expedite the process by not just telling a handful of friends and family, but the whole world all at once.
The Instagram versus reality trend is demonstrating this all the time, particularly in small towns and places that have struggled to catch up.
Places that have been popular for decades already went through this cycle, so they already have the infrastructure in place. So someone posts on Instagram and it goes viral, it only adds a small percentage to the amount of tourists coming in each year.
But in small towns or places that never saw tourists before, a viral Instagram post can bring in way too many people.
Think about a place like Santorini, Greece. People can barely fit onto the island now. Prices at hotels and restaurants have absolutely skyrocketed.
And now it's almost impossible to have an authentic experience.
I'm currently in Grenoble, France, a place that would hardly make the Instagram versus reality trend.
It's a destination few people really know about, and that's why I picked it. I'm living in a new country every month, trying to find lesser known destinations.
But whether I'm here or in a more popular tourist destination, the idea of showing the picture-perfect version of a trip has been going on long before social media ever existed.
And not just for a few years earlier either, but for decades this has been going on.
Before Instagram, we had digital cameras. We tried to make sure as little people were in it as possible, because basically everyone thought of themselves as an amateur photographer. Before that, we had disposable cameras. We didn't want to waste a super expensive film, and so that means we didn't want anybody ruining our shot. So we made sure the picture was perfect with nobody in it. And before that, when mass market travel started, postcards was the thing. A literal picture-perfect version of a city or site that we had sent to our friends and family back home.
So we have this cycle of a place essentially blowing up and creating mass market tourism. But what does it really mean for the average traveler?
People end up spending thousands or tens of thousands, end up going somewhere that has food that they probably could have found at home, meeting people from their home country, and seeing things that they could have seen on the internet, all because some ad or Instagram post told them that it was an amazing experience. Rome is a perfect example of this. It has tons of easily recognizable tourist spots that we all know exactly what they look like. And nearby those tourist spots, there's tons of quote-unquote Italian restaurants where they serve pizza.
But I have a secret to tell you. That's not Italian pizza. Italians separate all their ingredients. They don't put them all together. They don't put pineapple on pizza. That's just insane. It's just a giant marketing scheme designed to get you to buy it. Because they know you won't buy Italian pizza, you'll buy something close to what you know.
But what does it all matter?
We end up missing out on the cultural experience that travel's all about. The Instagram versus reality trend should be a wake-up call. Maybe next time you travel, you should go to a lesser-known destination.
I named my channel Go for the Unknown because I'm looking to find these lesser-known destinations, like Grenoble.
It's a place few North Americans would have ever heard of. And it shows. I've seen less than a handful of other tourists, and I feel absolutely immersed within the culture.
I get to eat the real food, meet the real people, and see what life is really like for the average French person. So should you not go and see the Eiffel Tower, or the Colosseum of Rome, or the Empire State Building?
No, you should. All these beautiful places in the Instagram photos are beautiful places. They've just become more popular.
The cycle starts, and now these amazing sites are swamped with tourists. But they're still worth seeing. The massive amounts of people in these viral videos has merely shown these Instagram and marketing loops.
Doesn't mean someone lied to you. Doesn't mean the travel industry is evil. Doesn't even really mean that Instagram's fake.
It just means that popular is bound to become more popular because of an exponential cycle. So how do you avoid this loop? If tourist traps don't sound like your thing, avoid the billboards, the ads, the English menus, and the souvenir shops. Instead, go on Google Maps and start looking around. You can stay in smaller places and save money by doing so, which will free up more money to travel around, see more, eat more, and stay longer.
And ultimately have a more authentic experience. When you get outside of the marketing loop, your experience gets outside of it as well. And you're no longer experiencing what everyone else experiences. This whole time I've been walking around Grenoble. I've been walking sometimes in the city center, sometimes in a more residential area. And I guarantee you did not see not one tourist taking a picture behind me. I dare you to go back and try. This is what happens when you go to lesser known destinations like Grenoble. On your next trip, you should consider going to a destination like this. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. You won't find any tourist traps or English menus or a bunch of annoying tourists in your way trying to take the same picture you are. You definitely won't be able to take an Instagram versus reality video. Next time, consider taking the road less traveled by. And if you want to see me take the road less traveled by, consider subscribing.